Alright guys, I'm at the Kingdom Forest Garden and it's changed massively and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of flowers out and there's a lot of berries already, so I'll show you around and see what we've got. So we're now well through the spring and here we've got a new row of berry bushes, and from going along them I've seen a lot of them are gooseberry bushes. So if you see that classic leaf, and then often you can see some spikes along the stalk. This is a bit more of a classic shape. You're right, Nikki. And then, oh, what's this white flower behind it? Is it cow's parsley?
Parsley, yeah, I think so.
Cow parsley, I think so. That would indicate that cows like to eat it, I imagine. It's a whole meadow of cow parsley on a bank. It's banked up over there. So this is looking really good, this new set of berries that we planted, and they're working their way down, just weeding it. Goes up there, and look, some buttercups here, and we've already seen a lot of fruit and interesting flowers, but God, look at that. Isn't that incredible? So buttercups and the white flower over there. Beautiful. So we've got some gooseberries already.
This one, look, there is another one. I'm sorry, I don't want to.
And we've actually got a buttercup mixed up inside as well in the plants. That's a beautiful thing to see together. Oh, I destroyed it. Never mind. That was a nice sight anyway. And it's just dripping in gooseberries on the underside of this. So once they're ripe, they'll be really nice. And just down here under them. Oh!
Sawfly larva.
Oh wow. What is it?
Sawfly larva.
Sawfly larva eating the gooseberry leaf. Oh, is that what eats them? Mine get decimated. And here's some mint. I'm not sure what type of mint it is, but wow, it's incredibly fragrant. Cool. Oh, and there's a strawberry as well. Do you want to come and see a strawberry plant? See, it's got 1, 2, 3 leaves. And then you've got to look down gently and see if there's any. Ah, there they are. So there they are, there's the strawberries.
Green strawberry.
So they still need to grow.
I thought they're wet.
But once they get a bit bigger and riper, they're very nice.
What happened?
These are Jerusalem artichokes. So I learned something new today. So a big patch of Jerusalem artichokes, and then some big trees. This is a plum tree, this one, with a few plums on it actually. I had to look closely to begin with, so it's not a big plum year. There they are. I'll try and get the right orientation for the light. So they're small at the moment, but they're growing. That's a gooseberry. You can try it if you like. They're not quite ready, so it might taste a bit bitter. Here we've got Ben toiling away. You do so well, Ben. Are you collecting up weeds in your wheelbarrow? What else have we got then? Some more cow parsley. Really high. Here we go. This looks like a new bed that's been planted, so some interesting stuff here. We've got some oregano. And yeah, it's just got it's got a really nice smell, the oregano. These are all new raspberry plants that look like they've just been planted this spring, so they could have only been in the ground for a few weeks or less. Do you want to try a herb? This is called oregano.
Thank you.
Do you want to give it a little go? What do you think?
Tasty.
Tasty. My boys like that one. Well done. You stay with your mummy. Hello there, you alright?
Yes.
I'm just videoing a bit of a walkthrough. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
How long have you been coming here?
Oh, a good few weeks now, and I really enjoy it. It gets me out of the house.
Brilliant. Do you mind being on a camera?
No, are you which?
So I can cut it out.
Yeah.
Fine. So you're weeding the berry area,
Yes.
and
I'm
it's
weeding the
dripping in
grass.
berries, isn't it? And there's a load of strawberries on the floor. So
Yeah, I hope I haven't trodden on too many of them.
oh, they'll be all right.
I think I have actually. That's, I think.
There's a mix of red and white strawberries in here, and they just spread across the ground. Oh, and look, there's some raspberries here, and we have a mix of yellow and red raspberries.
Oh, lovely.
So that's nice. And then look at these berry bushes just dripping in berries, and these are a mix of red, white and black berries. Or currants, actually. They're called currants. Oh, and this is the creeping raspberry, but I don't think I've ever seen any fruit on it. It's a creeping raspberry plant, and you can see how it's really carpeted the floor now, and someone's just very recently weeded through. Is there any fruit there? There may be some fruit this year. That's a flower. That'll be very, very interesting to see. Yeah, there's several other flowers around. Oh, I wonder if that's already flowered, or is it might just be about to flower. That'll be very interesting. Hello, you alright?
Right, come on then, you. Nosy, come on.
So people like to walk their dogs through here, and it helps to keep the paths down actually, and what a wonderful thing to let people do. And look, here's a pineapple mint. So what does that... Oh wow, it's really fluffy and furry, the leaves, compared to normal mint. Oh yeah, it's got a really different smell to a normal mint. Actually, I'll give it a taste. A bit more of a subtle taste, that one. Not sure what this is. Growing through some sort of pea variety, but I saw a little red cherry there. Currant. I thought I'd show you. And then there's a lot of berry bushes here, just absolutely dripping in berries. And the leaves on the top help to camouflage the berries below, but the birds do end up getting them. What's this? Has there been some alliums? Maybe. But I've just walked through sort of this area, not far, maybe 50 metres. So, and this is a strawberry bed here. I remember my boys coming through here and picking strawberries. They're in full flower and they're in full production. That is a white strawberry. I recognise it because it's got the red seeds in it against the white background. So there's lots of white strawberries in here. It's a bit more difficult to tell when they're ripe actually, so that one might not be too far off, but you can give them a squeeze as well. So you can see a huge amount. The whole bed is strawberries and pretty much white strawberries. This might be some sort of garlic cress. It's a lovely white flower. I'm not sure. Oh, it's not often I've seen sorrel flower before. So this is sorrel. And look, it's got an incredible flower on it. Why haven't I seen it flower like that before? Maybe because people always cut it back. And there's the sorrel leaf. Isn't that beautiful? Nice flower. And then loads of raspberries around it. And actually I can see 3 bees. One in there, if we can see it. See it in there. He's not worried about me, just very excited about the nectar and the sorrel flower. And then another one buzzing past. Okay, there's a little one, so that first one was a big bumblebee, and then there was a little miniature one next to it, and then there's another medium size, and they're all sort of different colours, so I wonder if they're different species. This is the...
Farah,
these are the...
come here for a second, please.
The raspberries.
Farah, 1 second. This is Diane's mom, Joy.
So it's looking incredible so far. Absolutely tons of stuff that you can easily identify yourself, and plenty more that you can't, that you can ask questions for and do some homework on. But it's a lovely area to just come and walk through and relax. I'm not even through a third of it, but I've just come to an interesting spot. Here is raspberries. I remember them being a lot higher though. So some more raspberries. In fact, the raspberries cover this whole bed, and then the one behind it as well. And then more currants down here. So this whole bed is currants. I can see some pineapple mint sticking out there. So that's a really nice sort of contrast, because it's got a variegated leaf. It's got a really quite light white contrasting. We'll go and see it contrasting with the green next to it. Ah, there's oregano down here. It's different to the previous one we saw. Nice big bush of oregano. And then there's the pineapple mint, which we've seen elsewhere. There's strawberries down there with the 3 leaves. And then this is a gooseberry bush, and it brings us up to these these several sections. So 1, 2, 3 sort of fingers going up, and these are all berry bushes, so we haven't been here yet. So I can see currants down here. More currants, and I can see a gooseberry. There's a gooseberry down here. Oh, and I've just seen something very, very interesting. It's a Babington's leek, but look at it. My goodness. So here's the top, and that goes out into a seed ball, and it just sort of flops down onto the floor and plants a load of babies. And then if we follow that all the way down to its base, this is its base. Look at how strong that's growing. And it's got a syntropic like feel to it, because everything's growing in together. Oh, and there's everything else. There's the other Babington's leeks. So there's one there, one there. So there's 1, 2, good 7 or 8. And cow parsley again, which is really nice. So I've probably gone through half of it, but if we go out to the pathway, we can see where I've come. Pretty much. Oh, look at the sky. Well, as far as you can see in the distance, really. You can see those white flowers. So as far as you can see up there is where it begins, and then I'll pan round and as far as you can see up there it sort of ends. So we'll just keep walking through. It gets a little bit less dense, and because we're going into the area that's sort of newer and had less time spent on it, but let's check it out. So there are various tunnels if you go through that way. Away from the path there's a big wall of cherries over there, wild cherries, and there's a few paths. If I go through them like this, you'll see you can kind of walk through, and then you can link up with other paths. Looks like that one might be a bit more trodden by the dog walkers. And then, not sure what's in there. I can see a raspberry bush. Not sure if that might have perished, but this is doing very well. Oh, and there's some poppies. Looks like there might be a bit of a secret den area in there as well. These big poppies, we've got some of these in our garden, but they're pink, so it's nice to see some red ones. Oh, and these are Japanese wineberries here, and I think the only reason I can tell is because they've got this kind of like a wine coloured stem, basically. Oh, and there's some buttercups here. Buttercups are absolutely beautiful. They're incredibly invasive if you haven't got you know, a lot else to compete with. See how they spread. That's buttercup as well. It's just spread probably across there in one winter. So, and then it goes in here into a little den for the kids. This is super cool. A really amazing den area, and we're actually quite far back from the main sort of paths and routes really. This kind of gets us a bit more back out onto it. So it's a deep site. Oh look, this is a new planting, and there's some strawberries down there. Not entirely. There's some raspberries there. This is an incredible new area. Look how they've the back wall is brambles and stinging nettles, and they've put in a bed here. The odd bits of green you can see, they're new raspberries. And then more Jerusalem artichokes just ahead of me, and strawberries down there actually. Oh wow. So just down here, this is a mint plant that I keep seeing that has the most incredible smell. Cool. It's almost got that medicinal smell. I've got to try and take some with me and grow it on, because it's really, really nice. I'll try and just pull some, otherwise if I don't do it now I won't remember. There we go, we've got a good bit of root. I'll put it in my pocket. And just see what, plant that later and see if it survives. And by the way, never take something from a public area unless you know what you're doing and you have permission, of course. Okay, so we've got a magic cabbage here, which is this thing. So that's newly planted, and one there with the purple stem. And then there's an elderflower tree here, and there's some oregano down there on the floor, and other bits of magic cabbage and stuff. So let's have a look at the elderflowers, because they are out now. Fair warning, I'm allergic to these, unfortunately. If I was to take the flower in my hand and rub it, it would be like stinging nettles, but that is absolutely beautiful. So just coming out, look, on the edges you can see the flower hasn't come out yet, so it's brand new, that flower. Absolutely brand new. What a lovely thing to see, and I can keep seeing buttercups down there. a very, very nice sort of bright shock of yellow, bit of colour. There's these things, cartoons, I think they're called. Look at them. Isn't that amazing? That tree over there, I know what it is. I forget its name. It'll come to me. But it's amazing for birds. Not so for humans. But birds absolutely love it. And there's a load of raspberries here. So this is a freshly dug bed with raspberries put in, which is fantastic, because that means there's going to be an absolute ton of raspberries. And look here, right by the path, right where people walk past, there's a gooseberry bush, and it's got gooseberries on it. How many people do you think will notice those as they sort of walk past, and how many people just won't have a clue what that is?
Hello, young man.
Hello, you alright?
Yes.
That's a gooseberry bush I was touching.
Yes. I know, my friend. Fancy flowers is my game since I was 12.
Ah,
I've been watching you do it for years. Even further on down, I've been watching all the time. There's the other,
Nice.
there's the other couple over there. I see them quite regular. Yeah.
have you walked through?
I've been every little plant.
You've had a
here,
look
hasn't
around.
it?
Nice.
The little fruit bushes are only a new addition in the last few years, haven't they?
Yeah.
Before it was all just the trees, the apples and then pear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but beautiful, beautiful.
They've added so much the last couple of years as well. Like a ton of raspberries.
What you've added.
Added,
Oh,
yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah, they're creeping this way.
You've added, you're doing a few more along that line along there now, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a lot of them are gooseberries.
Yeah.
Yeah, we planted them a
Gooseberries, man.
month or two ago.
Nightmare.
Oh, you like them?
You need to eat. No, they're lovely.
Gooseberries. There are.
But
There's
you
one
need
here.
it. You want these, and when you try to pick it up, you want to go and it's on, don't you?
Oh, I know.
We used to plant them all along our allotments, you see, all along the
This one
front.
looks healthy.
Did you?
I don't think this one looks so
I'm always getting spiked all along my arms.
They were great.
There's a new apple tree here. There are a few new trees. There's a bay tree somewhere around here. Oh no, it's a pear. It's a pear tree. Ah, fantastic. So we don't have many pear trees at all here. Oh, that's good to have. And then this is all raspberries. So that's where the cardooms are, where we've just been. All the way up there. It's actually round a bend now. You can't see the beginning of the forest garden. So just walk through here, the raspberries, the new raspberry bit. There's a gooseberry down there. A magic cabbage and another gooseberry. Magic cabbage, gooseberry. This is the bay tree actually coming up here. There we go. That came from my garden. It was in a pot. They don't really like being in pots after a while. So that's doing fantastically well. Look at that. I'm really chuffed with that. Oh, and it's nice because it's got some strawberries at the bottom of it. Look, all these strawberries. A massive amount. That's just one plant as well, probably. God, I could do with a few more strawberries. Ah, there's the rosemary there as well. So a bit of a herb bed, this one, with the bay and the rosemary. That rosemary will only have just been planted, and once it gets its roots in the ground, that's going to take off into outer space. They grow big when they get their roots in the ground, their feet in the ground. They love it. Oh, and there's a rhubarb patch here. Look. Oh, that'll establish well. That'll be new as well. I don't remember seeing it. And then berries. These are currants. These two bushes. So you can see how it's getting a little bit sparser up here. Not entirely sure what that tree is. Can't see any fruit on it. Then we've got a bed here that's got these things are roses, so they could be dog roses. And look, these are sage, but they're variegated leaves. How unusual. Look at the variegation in the leaf. Variegation just means it's got two different colours. And then there's a little gooseberry bush there. And I don't really know what some of this other stuff is. So a mental note to ask Rob. And look, this is what the new trees are, but what is that? Are they just simply plum trees, or are they going to turn into some sort of nut? So that's an interesting looking new tree, and you can see in there how they've hollowed out a new area. Casualty. Someone just fell over. Oh my god, there's no way. I've just spotted something. Oh, there's a little robin up here. We'll see how close we can get to him. Little robin. Oh, there's a little robin there as well. It's got to this robin here. So this tree, you'll never guess what it is. I'm astounded because it's grown so big. But when I tell you, I think you might be a bit surprised. Yeah, the robins ran off, but this is a mulberry tree. Oh my goodness me, look at the fruit. They're like a cross, I think, between a raspberry and a blackberry, but on a tree. Oh my god, it's absolutely prolific, look at it. It's dripping. I remember only about 3 or 4 years ago, it was down to about that height, and it had about 3 mulberries on it, and I tried one, or let the boys tried one. God. And they've had to, people who are maintaining this orchard have had to hack back all this bramble. So it was a bit closer, the brambles. It was really quite close around it. We had to hack the brambles back. But now look at this big space that's been cleared around it. How amazing is that? So it was a bit more like that to start off with. So we're gaining grounds on the brambles, but we're keeping areas of bramble to pick from, and there's some really good areas in here. But look at the kind of like the surface area of the brambles that have been opened up, all these paths around them, so they're infinitely more pickable. And there's a ton of fruit that's going to be coming out on these brambles normally in August. Look, those are all flowers, and they're covered in flowers, so this will be quite a prolific area for picking brambles. So that'll be, so, I don't know what it looks like, an apple tree maybe, that one, and that one as well, could be pear. And then this is right on the frontiers of the very edge of it, so a lot of cow parsley, brambles, and the sticky weed, you know, where it grows the little balls that you can throw at people, but you can just, if you're not being too particular, you can just rip up the whole plant and throw it at someone. Kind of cheating, but fun as well. And this is the very end of the forest garden, and even up at this very end there's some some currant bushes. So currant bushes, won't know what colour they are until they ripen really, but the red currants are quite popular. The white currants are better to plant because the birds don't see them as much. Here we go, and then a gooseberry with the fruit. So this is the forest garden, and it goes around a bend and then up, so it's really quite long. But I'll take you along the public footpath, and I'll show you the public footpath as well, just so that's the mulberry tree, the big thing at the back, but don't tell anyone, and please leave some for others if you're going to pick any. They're certainly not ripe yet. And then we're just coming up to where the bay tree is, so the bay tree is just there, and then all along all these beds with berry sort of undergrowth, ground cover, all these different types of berries. And there's a bed there of raspberries. That's a gooseberry. That's the gooseberry that's right next to the path. And there are the cardoons in there. You can see them. And there's about, so that's a big apple tree, that's a big apple tree. There's about 12 big established apple trees that are about 12 years old. And some more Babington's leeks in there. Something quite special about Babington's leeks, I think. I don't know what. Oh, and there is a board. Wow, let me show you this. So we've had funding for it. So this is the Kingdom Forest Garden, and the volunteers come here every Monday. And if you can pause the video and read it, then there you go. But I'll try and zoom in on bits. Don't know if it's very readable, but you can see all of their information here. It's a QR code, and then that's the information. So a nice little information piece there, and then I'll go back on the path and complete the return journey. Here we go. So all the way back to, oh, we'll just dip in and see another landmark in here. The local artist did these paintings, and they're still here a year later.
Yeah, they've done well, haven't they?
Really well.
He knows
I'm
what he's
amazed.
doing.
Yeah, we thought they were all going to get stolen within about a week of putting them out, but they've actually stayed and they've endured really nicely. So that's a kingfisher. And we do see kingfishers in there. There's a stream around here, a river. And this is back to the beginning of the tour, where there was the field of cow parsley and the row of gooseberries. So hopefully you've enjoyed the tour. Have a look on the channel to see the other videos. I've got videos going back to from this site going back 4 or 5 years, and also many other sites in the charity for the Fruit and Nut Village. So thank you for watching.